And also joining us tonight is two guests. First is Kun Nyo Ohn Myint, the Chair of Foreign Affairs Committee of the NLD, and also Larry Jagan, the Southeast Asia analyst of the BBC editor for the Asia Pacific. Well, right now we have Ohn Myint on the line. Good evening.
Hello.
Hello, yes.
Hello, Mr. Ohn Myint. Did the meeting between U.S. Secretary of State and opposition icon democracy Aung San Suu Kyi go as expected, or was there anything beyond our expectation?
I think, this is a very tremendous and remarkable, changes is on the way. Mm-hmm. In terms of that the United States, it's a physically and then also they're emotionally supporting the democratization in Burma. Mm-hmm. So I think this is a very good point that we are going to have it anyway.
Mm-hmm. So what were the reactions of the Burmese people regarding this historical trip, and were there any things that they are still remaining cautious about this?
Yeah, of course. We are dealing with the military regime. It's a so-called, what they call that, the civilian, government currently. So, but at the same time, it's going to be, it's quite a bit situation that we Burmese expected something really need to change, concretely changes in the, from now to future. So in that case, that the government of Burma, government of Myanmar, it's right now trying to have a more, the economic and then also political reform that really needed. That's correct.
So now Larry Jagan is on the line with us right now. Larry, you might have heard Ohn Myint on his response on if there's any other cautious the Burmese people may be towards this historical step. Would you like to add anything else to this?
Well, I think certainly as far as the Burmese people are concerned, this meeting, particularly between Hillary Clinton and Aung San Suu Kyi, was more symbolic than anything else. But for the regime, for the government, I think it's incredibly important. They have had international recognition by the most powerful country in the world, and they are being encouraged to increase the pace of reform, and that can only be good. In the long run, that will provide something for people on the ground. But at the moment, it's really only government ministers who probably are responsive to the overture from Hillary Clinton.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Jagan, and what do you see happening in terms of, a progress in promoting a peaceful dialogue between the government and the representatives from ethnic minorities?
Well, I think that's one of the key things. When Hillary Clinton spoke to Thein Sein, the president, and then Turishwe Man, the Speaker of the lower house, she stressed that there were four things that needed to happen. First of all, the elections, the by-elections next year had to be free and fair and credible. All political prisoners had to be released. The laws that were being enacted by Parliament had to be respected and enforced. And fourthly, there had to be peace and real national reconciliation with the ethnic minorities. Now, since Aung San Suu Kyi wrote to Thein Sein several months ago, the government has been making overtures to the ethnic minorities, particularly those who haven't already signed ceasefire agreements. And today, one of the Shan groups, the Shan state army, signed a ceasefire agreement in Town Fiji, the regional capital of Shan state. This is a very significant move forward. And in fact, what Hillary Clinton was trying to do was encourage the government to proceed. It is the most important issue in Burma at the moment. Without national reconciliation, without real ceasefire agreements, in place and a political solution for the ethnic minorities, there will be no lasting peace and there'll be no lasting stability.
Right. Ohn Myint, I would like you to answer the same question, but also I would like to ask, adding on that, are there any other government members within Thein Sein's administration that would oppose these reforms? Are there any fears of that?
You mean with the ethnic nationalities or Aung San Suu Kyi?
Right.
Yeah, of course, that's a hardliners. It's namely General Johnson, who is the information minister, and then the vice president, and then his the hardliners. They feel that some changes is also threatening their security and stability, because they live in the very much authoritarian power in last 23 years. Of course, they really don't want to see that really changes in that regard. And then secondly, regarding the ethnic, the nationalities, what I really see is that the major political situation, and then also the ethnic, another challenge is that is it really genuine peace? Is that between the ethnic and the government really needed understanding, and then mutual respect, and then what really ethnic people really expectation. Other than that, the peace would not be last longer. So I really think that the government should also use that the leverage, and also allow the ethnic nationalities to play that the national politics, and then also they have also state rights. Other than that, that's going to be very difficult for this moment.
Mm-hmm.
Can I just add that I think as far as Aung San Suu Kyi and the Burman pro-democracy movement's concerned, and the ethnics, the issue is that we see some tentative changes. We see some willingness by some members of the regime to accommodate both the ethnic minorities and Aung San Suu Kyi and the pro-democracy movement. But it's a very precarious situation. In fact, Hillary Clinton told Tura Shwe-Man yesterday she understood that there were elements in the administration that didn't favor reform and that actually were anxious about the pace of reform. I think the key thing to remember is that it is all very precarious. We're seeing good signs, but we aren't seeing anything concrete. And what I understand is that as far as the administration is concerned, it's something like 20% of the ministers are pro-reform, 20% of the ministers are anti-reform, and the rest are sitting on the fence waiting to see who wins. And it's very important for Burma that the liberal-minded ministers win this.
Mr. Jagan, with Myanmar is going to chair the ASEAN regional bloc in 2014, do you think it is a kind of commitment from Myanmar to speed up the reforms?
Oh, I have no doubt that if Burma chairing ASEAN in 2014 is a great lever both for the region and the international community to push the reform process in Burma. Now, I think we shouldn't be concentrating on the political reforms, because I think if Aung San Suu Kyi competes in the elections next year and the NLD wins maybe around 40 seats and takes its position in Parliament, or a minority certainly, this could be one of the most democratic parliaments in the whole of Southeast Asia, apart from Thailand, of course. But the real impetus to reform will be in the economy. They have to do something about corruption. They have to do something about the crazy currency exchange rates. They have to do something about the banking system. And it would be foolish for ASEAN to have a chair in 2014 that has a backward economy, that does not meet ASEAN standards as far as transparency and accountability in the economy is concerned, a year before the East Asian community is to come into force.
Right. Now, this question goes to Ohn Myint as for the by-election that's coming up, everyone is predicting that Aung San Suu Kyi would win the majority of the 48 seats in the parliament. If so, could you predict the future of that for Burma, and also what sort of steps would the NLD take to improve the democracy in the country?
I think, that's 48 seats, in, of course, like 40 seats in the lower house and 6 seats in the upper house and 2 in the regional. But, she is the icon of the democracy, and then she might have a lot of power, and then the Speaker of the House, Tuya Shriman, would be willing to work with her in some the constitutional reform. And then also another major challenge of the NLD is that the national reconciliation with the ethnic nationalities, and then the prolonged civil war. Because, if the Burma would be the chair of the ASEAN in 2014, the real point is that the ceasefire and then total peace. As long as you do not have any peace, that's going to be human rights abuses, and then that's so many negative consequences towards the ASEAN the bloc as well.
Mr. Jagan and Mr. Ohn Myint, both of you, with Mr. Jagan first, do you think it is a good day for ASEAN with this big step of Myanmar?
Yeah, of course. I really admire. I admit that the President U Thein Sein is a real reformer, and then also at the same time he really needs the Aung San Suu Kyi to help that the country move faster. But at the same time, as a while ago, Larry mentioned about the 20% of the reformer, and then very soft liner, and then the minister with a vision. We still need it to more comprehensively, not only in the government but also in the ethnic and then democratic camp, to work together, because this is not a time to fight for the power. It's a time to rebuild the country and to join the ASEAN with the dignity, because we have lost that opportunity for more than 4 or 5 decades. And at this point, that we really needed, Aung San Suu Kyi really needed to work things out, and then because we have so many challenges. For example, democratic reform, it was in general very easy, but in particular, it's a very, very challenges and very difficult situation ahead.
Right.
There's no doubt that we shouldn't get carried away with the changes that have occurred so far. There are very good signs, and after all, Clinton said to both the President and the Speaker, that's the reason I'm here. There have been good signs, there have been significant progress, but we're still only at the start of a road towards democracy. And the liberal-minded ministers, like the President, like the Speaker, need international support. They need the support from the region, particularly from ASEAN, and they need support from the West. And the US has made this gigantic step, and we have to support those kinds of ministers if the Burmese are to realize the kind of future that we all want them to realize.
Thank you very much, Larry Jagan and Nyo Ohn Myint, for your outlooks.